Anita shares here, I don't feel like I live with Shakti. To the contrary, she visits me very rarely. I wish she was more active in my life. Yeah, so this is interesting. It's a few different ways of looking at this. A few different ways of looking at this. So Shakti is not this separate goddess that comes and goes in your life. Shakti is all that there is. Shakti is what has always been breathing your lungs, beating your heart, digesting your food, etc. It's all Shakti. This is the intelligence of Shakti. So that's life, Shakti. Shakti's dance. So it's not possible to live without her, though I understand the underlying feeling that you're speaking about here. Yes, at times we can have these more direct encounters, communications, more obvious signs that we are in the company of what we may refer to in this sort of anthropomorphic way as the divine mother, right? And sometimes she's there, we feel her presence, we can maybe communicate with her, we hear something from her. And other times it's quiet and we feel almost as if we're alone, right? So this is a common theme that maps over to what we may refer to as the dark night of the soul on the spiritual path. So the dark night of the soul is not just one night, it's a particular phase in the journey where somebody feels disconnected from the divine. So they may have prior had experienced connection with God, with the divine mother. They feel love, they feel bliss, it's incredible. Everything is going well. Then suddenly there's an experience of what we may perceive as being abandoned by the divine, and now we're all alone to fend for ourselves. It feels dry, the bliss disappears, the magic disappears, the synchronicity, the trust, the confidence gets very dark. And so this is why they call it the dark night of the soul. So in that theme, that the major theme there is feeling abandoned. So that's kind of what the gist of what I'm getting from your question here is that you feel like she comes and goes, right? She comes and goes. So in this phase, the reason that this apparent abandonment takes place is because it pushes us to recognize that we can never be abandoned because it is us. God is us. The Divine Mother is us. It's this idea that there is a sense of separation that I'm here and God is there, and God can leave and go somewhere else where I'm not, and then maybe God will return. How can that be true? The present moment here and now is all there is. So where would God go? Right? Where would God go? Right? All there is God. So how can God abandon itself? And where would it go to even abandon you? Right? So, yes, I can ask these questions and maybe it will stir up something in you. But over time, we actually have to sit with those questions and contemplate, allow our nervous system to really recognize that all there is here is God. All there is Shakti. She can never leave us. She never actually visited us, right? Because the visitation implies that there was a time where she wasn't with us. Always, always was, right? And so we can still call out to her, pray, chant, complain, vent, get upset. So where are you? Where have you been? Why have you left me? Right? This was what Jesus did on the cross. This was his experience. This is his dark night of the soul on the cross. He said, Father, why have you forsaken me? All my life you were with me, and now I'm on the cross and you've left me. How can this be? Right? So you can have a prayer like that, and your prayer can be, Divine Mother, why have you forsaken me? Right? And if that prayer comes from deep within, like really deep within, it's very powerful and it will be heard. Yeah, it will be heard. But this is a standard theme on the path where we feel disconnection from the divine. It's on the other side of this that there's union, union with God, yoga, right? Oneness, connection. And we see, and then it gets sort of solidified. It's like, where would God ever go? Then there's no worries anymore because we've realized we are it. So I hope that can help you. It's a fantastic, fantastic question.